Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Heat announced 3 injury upgrades for Bulls play-in game. The Miami Heat will be facing the Chicago Bulls in the play-in tournament, and they recently got some injury updates that should bode well for the team. Nikola Jovic, Kevin Love, and Pelle Larsson were all upgraded to questionable on the injury report ahead of the game, and there's a good chance they could all be ready to go. Jovic and Larsson both practiced with the team the day before their game against the Bulls, but were not full participants. The last time Jovic played in a game was on February 23 after fracturing a metacarpal in his right hand. The last time Larsson played was on April 7, as he sprained his ankle lifting weights ahead of their game against the Bulls 2 days later. For Love, he's missed the last few games because of personal reasons. All 3 players have played an important part on the team at some point during the season, and having them on the court will be good, as this is a win-or-go-home situation. The Heat ended the season strong, and the hope is that they can carry that momentum into the play-in game. Jovic has not played in a while for the Heat, and was starting for the team before getting injured. He can shoot the ball and put the ball on the floor, and him being upgraded to questionable is a big sign of progress for the forward. Head coach Erik Spoelstra was asked about Jovic and his injury progress. "He's made a ton of progress," Spoelstra said via Zach Weinberger of Clutch Points. "You know, one thing he's been able to do all along is work out, do a lot of lifting and conditioning, everything that was allowed to do with his hand, he was able to do it. So, he looks great, his body fat is great, his conditioning level for not playing in a game is, really, at a high level, and then the last 2-3 weeks he's been able to do considerable player development." The last time these 2 teams faced off, the Bulls ended up walking away with the win. Both teams have experience in the play-in, and this will be the 3rd straight season they face each other in the tournament. The Heat have won both matchups, and they'll be looking to make it 3 in a row so they can move on to the next game. Heat sends 6-word message after play-in win. As the Miami Heat took to the hardwood for their play-in matchup against the Chicago Bulls, the odds were anything but in their favor. The Bulls, who held home court advantage in the number 9 seed game, swept their regular season series against the Heat 3-0. But none of that mattered in Wednesday night's do-or-die contest. Recent history and home court aside, Miami showed up and showed out for its first win against Chicago this season, which, in turn, ended the latter's 2024-25 campaign. Following their 109-90 victory to advance to the number 8 seed game, the Heat had just 6 words to say when posting their win to social media: "Got the win versus Chicago that mattered." Prior to Wednesday night's showdown, all 3 games between Miami and Chicago this season had been close calls, with the Bulls narrowly emerging with single-digit victories in each one. This time around, however, the result was never in doubt, as the Heat took a 24-point lead into halftime and seemingly never looked back. Tyler Herro led the way for Miami with 38 points on a 13-4-19 clip from the field, while Andrew Wiggins chipped in with 20 points and 9 rebounds of his own. Bam Adebayo also came away with a 15-point, 12-rebound double-double to round out the Heat's standouts on the evening. For Chicago, Josh Giddey racked up 25 points and 10 rebounds on the evening for another impressive performance as of late, but one that wasn't enough to overcome a seemingly rejuvenated Miami squad. The Heat are now set to play in their 3rd straight number 8 seed game in just as many seasons. This time around, they'll be on the road to take on the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off time for that game is set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bulls HC Billy Donovan calls team out after play-in loss to Heat. The Chicago Bulls lost to the Miami Heat in the first round of the play-in tournament on April 16, ending the 2024-25 season at home on the United Center floor. After the game, Bulls head coach Billy Donovan did not mince words about his team's shortcomings. Donovan made sure to credit the Heat for their efforts, and he noted his previous warnings about a younger, than the start of the season, Bulls. However, Donovan's disappointment with the Bulls' effort was clear. You get to this point in time of the season, these games are going to be grind-out games. And I think I mentioned before the game, there's going to be experiences that these guys are going to have to go through. Quite honestly, Donovan told reporters on April 16. The disappointing part was we didn't play to our identity. We just didn't. Talked before the game about the turnovers. We had 10 of them, or 11 in the first half. And you give up 23 points at this point in time? You can't win like that. It's hard. Miami will take on Atlanta Friday at 7 p.m./ET on TNT, winner gets the 8th seed in the East. I thought the recognition of how they were guarding and what they were doing, and not that they necessarily changed a lot, Donovan said of the Heat's approach with the Bulls. Just have the awareness of just how they're guarding, what they're doing. And I think that we had this mentality of we didn't work the game. Didn't read the game well enough, and I'm hopeful for some of our guys that this can be a real good growth opportunity. It's unfortunate because I thought, with all the uncertainty at the trade deadline, and then getting a team together, the group really did a great job for the trade deadline you know what I mean? And when you lose a game, you don't want to lose where you're not playing to your identity how you want to. That was the disappointing part. The Bulls end the season with a loss to the Heat for the third straight season. Despite that familiarity, Donovan's bunch was unable to slow down Heat star Tyler Herro, who finished with 38 points on 68.4% shooting. Donovan was asked multiple times about the Heat targeting perceived weaker defenders in Josh Giddey and Kobe White. The Bulls head coach noted that it was an all-around failure on defense. There's going to be breakdowns to the point of screens, right? We're not talking about the fact that our low man is not protecting the rim, and there's no sign of anybody there. That's not all on Josh, or Kobe, or the perimeter, and vice versa. Sometimes you gotta be able to manage and control the ball a little bit at the point of screen so you don't have to come over there, Donovan said. Herro, off the dribble, got wherever he wanted to. Davion Mitchell got wherever he wanted to. Andrew Wiggins got wherever he wanted to. They all got where they wanted to. And we need to be better, collectively, in that area. I didn't think we played good enough team defense, Donovan said of the Bulls. I'm looking at it through where we needed to be better in order to play better. We needed to be much better at the point of the screen, but that was for everybody. The Bulls have several roster questions to answer this offseason, but Donovan was in to do so following such a significant game and result. He also reiterated regret over their defensive effort against the Heat. It's hard for me right now. When the season ends, they've always been great about including me and stuff, and they've always tried to just give me space, with all the games that are coming, just to coach and to focus on the guys. And we talk about the team and the guys. But there'll be a time for all that stuff where we'll all sit down at some point and talk, Donovan said. They like everybody kind of decompressing for a couple of weeks and then kind of regathering to talk about it. So we'll see. I think we were better defensively than what we showed tonight, I definitely feel that. I feel like our guys made some growth. And not that we were this stellar defensive team. But I felt like we got better, and the numbers showed that over the course of the year. Not a single person on this roster has stood a chance against Tyler Herro. All the defensive concerns we had about this team coming into the year have popped back up at the worst possible time. The Bulls entered the contest allowing opponents to connect on threes at the second lowest clip during the regular season. Miami shot over 37% from beyond the arc in the game. They were over 65% in the paint and 66% in the restricted area. Whatever changes the Bulls make this offseason, defense must be a driving factor in the decision-making process. And you, fan? What do you think about Billy Donovan's situation? Write to us in the comments.